welcome to your practice for today. So today we are going to do a gentle heart opening flow, focusing on the heart area, not only the front of the heart, but also the back of the heart, allowing us just to open through the front of those shoulders. And as we open and focus on the heart area, we are better able to feel, not only feel love for ourselves, for others, but also just to feel our own bodies and what's going on. So, as you are ready, go ahead and find a comfortable seat. As always, sitting however you would like, and adjusting, making any movements to help yourself feel a little more settled into your seat. You can always continue to move here as we breathe, if you would rather, or you can just find some stillness. So maybe we just let those hands rest on the legs if we're finding stillness. And as we take a few breaths together, on that next inhale, let's shrug those shoulders up towards the ears. And then on the exhale, just allow them to relax as you breathe out. So just a couple breaths like that. As you inhale, maybe breathe in through the nose, shrugging those shoulders up. And on the exhale, just out through the mouth, allowing the shoulders to soften. And one more time like that. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the mouth. And again, we'll just pause right here. Maybe you close the eyes. Maybe you find a gentle downward gaze at the floor. And even if those eyes are closed, maybe try to find an internal downward gaze. Just allowing the area around the eyes to soften and relax a bit. As always, just starting by checking in with yourself. Checking in with the body, anything that you might feel in the body, whether it's an ache or a tightness or maybe a softening somewhere. Just noticing where the body's speaking. Try to notice how you are breathing today. Just finding your natural breath. And then as you continue to breathe here, try to bring awareness to your heart, just the area inside your chest where your heart resides. Again, whether the eyes are closed or open, just try to turn that internal gaze to the heart area. Maybe you begin to feel, maybe you can feel the heart beating. Maybe you start to notice a little bit of warmth or some energy around that heart area. Maybe you don't feel anything at all in the heart area, and that is totally okay. Let's just try for the next 5 or so breaths to keep that awareness, all that focus on this area around the heart. As our awareness moves there, energy will naturally start to move there as well. Maybe you can feel the heart area expanding a little bit as you breathe in, softening as you breathe out. A couple more breaths here. Thinking not only of the front of the heart, but maybe the back of the heart as well, underneath those shoulder blades. And just one more full breath here. In through the nose, and out through the nose. And then just bringing that awareness back to the breath, back to the body. Maybe those hands come back to the front of those knees. And that next breath in, let's find some movement. So on the inhale, let's begin to reach the heart, the chest forward as the shoulders drop back and down. And then on the exhale, we're going to round through the back, bringing the chin a little closer to the chest. The belly draws in. Inhaling as you reach the torso, the heart, everything forward and up, turning the gaze up as well. And exhaling as you round it out, maybe slightly tucking the hips as the belly draws in. Inhaling as you reach forward and up. Exhaling as you round. Rounding the shoulders forward, dropping the chin. A couple more times, forward and back. Moving at the pace of your own breath. And as always, you can stay and hold anywhere along the way. If you find a spot that feels like it needs a little extra attention or breath, you can stay and hold there, or you can continue to move. And just one more time. Each direction, inhaling forward and up. Exhaling back and down. Now as we inhale and make our way back up to seated, let's bring those hands forward out in front of those legs. Maybe we stay right here and we feel a little stretch or opening in those outer hips. Or if you'd like to take it a little deeper, you can walk those hands forward, just as far as they can go today. And as we take a few breaths, folding over those legs, maybe on the breath in, we find a little lift, lifting through the back of the heart, and then exhaling as we reach the heart, the chest, down towards the floor. Inhale, just gently finding a lift, a little bit of space through that lower back. Exhaling as you fold, you might feel yourself fold a little deeper. Just one more breath here. Exhaling as you fold, allowing the head and the neck to drop towards the floor, the shoulders to soften down. Finding a little pause. On the next inhale, as you're ready, slowly walking those hands back up. And if those legs are crossed, just cross them the other way, the other leg in front or on top. Again, finding your seat, trying to sit evenly as best as possible on those sitting bones. And the next breath in, let's reach those arms all the way out and up. Connecting the hands at the top, and then exhale as they reach back and down. Try to squeeze those shoulder blades together as those arms lower towards the floor. Maybe feel the hands connect with the floor, and then inhale back up. Fingertips connecting, exhale all the way back and down, opening through the front of those shoulders until you feel the floor underneath the hands. Inhale as you reach, and exhale all the way out and down. Let's leave that right hand on the floor here, and on the inhale, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Maybe we lean over to the side a little bit, and then slowly switching those arms. Inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you reach, and just a couple times side to side, beginning to open through the side of the body, helping open those breathing muscles, opening the area around the heart, allowing the blood flow to move better, and just one more time each side. And as we release both hands to the floor, let's keep those hands on the floor along the sides of the body. And on the next exhale, let's just drop the right ear a little closer to the right shoulder. Find a little stretch through this side of the neck. And maybe that left hand starts to walk a little further away from the body. Fingertips just on the floor. Bringing awareness to the side of the neck. Check in, see if you can feel a little stretch there. Maybe move the hand out to the sides, forward and back. Taking a few breaths here, just exploring with the hand that's on the floor there. And then bringing the hand back to center, bringing the head back up to center, pausing here in the middle for a moment. Just kind of check in with both sides of the neck, the upper shoulders, what you feel. And then as you're ready, next exhale, dropping that left ear a little closer to the left shoulder. Lifting the chin up towards the ceiling. Maybe just pause and hold right here. Or you can walk that right hand a little further away from the body. Noticing how or if that might change where you feel a little stretch. And again, no worries if you don't feel much through the neck or the shoulder here. And then slowly we'll bring both hands back to the knees, bringing the head back up to center, softening both shoulders down towards the floor. And then once again, we bring those hands out in front of those legs. Maybe we pause right here if this is where we feel a little opening or stretch in the hips, or you can continue to walk those hands forward to take it a little bit deeper. Again, just listening to the body. Maybe take a couple breaths, just like we did on the opposite side here, as we inhale, find a little lift, a little length through that lower back, and then exhaling as you fold over those legs, dropping the shoulders, the head. Inhale as you find a little lift, lifting through the back of the heart, and exhaling as the chest drops a little closer to the floor. Finding a pause, a few breaths here as we hold in this forward fold. And on the inhale, just imagine that breath moving into the back of those shoulders, creating space. Inhaling as the shoulders broaden, drawing away from the ears, away from the center of the body. Exhaling as they gently press down towards the floor. Just one more breath here. And as you are ready, walking those hands back up. Coming back up to center. Go ahead and uncross those legs. Maybe we bring them both out in front. Move them around a little bit. Then let's bring those feet flat to the floor. Feet about hip width apart. Hands coming behind the body, fingertips pointing in towards those feet. And we're just going to move these knees side to side a few times. Begin to open, wake up through those hips. Continue to engage through that lower belly, always drawing it in and up. And just a few times. Rolling onto the edges of the feet as we move those knees side to side. And evening out those sides, making your way back up to center. And then go ahead and come all the way up onto those feet. Just going nice and slow, working your way up into your mountain. Finding your space when you get there. Those feet can be all the way together. They can be hip width apart, whatever's most comfortable for you for those legs. Let's take a few shoulder rolls here at the top. And that last time, just allowing the shoulders to open, the palms facing forward, fingertips reaching down. Grounding down into those feet, especially into the big toes, the little toes, the center of the heel. Bring awareness to the arches of those feet. Although they're not going to move or do much here, just try to imagine the arches of the feet lifting up away from the floor. As you do that, you might start to notice the inner legs engaging, the lower belly starting to engage, lifting up as well. Down through those fingertips, so the whole body is engaged, nice and strong in your mountain. Finding your breath, whether you're breathing through the nose or through the mouth. Okay, and then as you're ready on that next inhale, let's reach those arms all the way up, feel those hands connect, and exhale again, just like we did seated, reaching those arms back and down. Feel the sides of those legs. Inhale as you reach up. Exhaling all the way back behind you, squeezing those shoulder blades together until those hands release. One more time, inhaling, arms up. This time as we exhale, keeping those arms drawn back, we're going to bend the knees, hinging forward at the hips, swan dive down, until you find that forward fold, releasing those hands, releasing the head and the neck. On our inhale, lifting halfway. So nice long spine here in our halfway lift. Shoulders drawn back and down, crown of the head reaching forward, and exhaling back down to our forward fold. Deep bend in those knees, grounding down into those feet. Very slowly make your way up to standing. Feel those hands connect at the top, and exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. As you inhale, lifting halfway, think about the back of the heart lifting you up. Exhaling back down, forward fold. Deep bend in those knees, very slowly making your way up to standing. Feel those hands connected to top. Exhale, leading with the front of the heart, forward fold. One more time, inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling as we fold. Bending those knees as you inhale, lift through the back of the heart. Slowly lifting that body all the way up, connecting the hands. And exhale, Swan dive down, forward fold. Planting those hands into the mat this time, so bending those knees as much as needed. Let's step our right foot to the back, and then the left foot, lifting those hips up high, downward dog. Feel free to take a few breaths here, walking those heels out one at a time, bending one knee towards the mat, and then the other. Few times, maybe taking it a little bit deeper. As you bend that right knee, maybe you drop the right shoulder, just turning that gaze underneath that left arm. And then slowly switching those sides, bending the left knee, dropping the left shoulder, turning that gaze underneath the right arm. And slowly back to center, relaxing both heels to the floor. On the inhale, shifting your weight forward to your plank, lowering down to both knees, and exhale, elbows bend, lowering all the way to the mat. On our inhale, lifting halfway, or just a little bit off the mat. Exhaling back down, forward fold. Oh, my words are all mixed up, I'm sorry. On the inhale, pressing back up to those knees, exhale, reaching those hips back toward the heels, tucking the toes, and we'll lift everything back up, downward dog. Turning our gaze forward, you can step or hop those feet to the front of your mat. Once you get there, lifting halfway again, lifting through the back of that heart. Exhaling back down, forward fold. Deep bend in those knees, very slowly making your way up to standing, bringing those arms with you at the top. Exhaling, hands to your heart center. On our next inhale, reaching arms out and up. Exhale, reaching arms back and down as you fold forward, hinging at the hips, bending the knees. Inhaling, halfway lift. And just moving through 2 sun salutations with that breath. So you can step or you can hop those feet back. Let's go right into our plank. Inhale, reaching forward here. You can come to the knees or stay on the toes. And exhale, let's just try lowering halfway down. And then inhale, lifting the heart. You can be an upward dog with the hips lifted, or cobra with the hips on the mat. On the exhale, lifting those hips up high, downward dog. Taking a breath or two here, as many as needed. Then when you feel ready, turning that gaze forward, you can step or you can hop your feet to the front of your mat. Once you get to the front, inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold. Deep bend in those knees, very slowly making your way up to standing as you reach those arms out and up. Exhaling, hands to heart. One more time through that with your own breath. Try to go 1 movement per breath as you inhale and reach up. Exhale, reaching back and down, folding at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, lifting through the back of the heart. Exhaling as we fold, stepping or hopping back to your plank, knees or toes. Inhale as you shift that weight forward, and exhaling, elbows bend, grazing along the sides, lowering half or all the way to your mat. Inhale, lifting the front of the heart forward and up. On your exhale, making your way back to that downward dog. Let's take about 3 breaths here. Maybe try breathing in through the nose and sighing it out through the mouth. And in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time like that. Go ahead and turn that gaze forward as you feel ready. Taking a few steps, or you can hop to the front of your mat. Inhaling halfway up, and exhaling as we fold. Deep bend in those knees, very slowly begin to make your way back up to standing. Bring those arms with you at the top, reaching out and up. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Once again, back in that mountain. You can stay right here, you can reach those arms down towards the floor. Again, maybe finding a downward gaze, whether those eyes are open or closed. Strong through the whole body. Try to bring awareness back to your breath. After moving around a little bit, you might be able to feel the heart beating. Maybe you're breathing a little bit faster. Again, there's no right or wrong with the way that you feel right now. We're just bringing awareness to it. Then you can choose maybe to slow down the exhale. Maybe you choose to breathe out through the mouth to release some of that heat. Or you can breathe through the nose to start to calm and slow things down. 3 more breaths here in our mountain. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring those hands back to our heart center. If you feel ready to continue on, again, you can always stay in your mountain pose or child's pose, anything. If you want to just take a moment, take a break. So we're going to shift our weight into our right foot, and we're going to step our left foot to the back, turning this left foot out to the side slightly. We're going to bend this right knee, just until it comes over that ankle. So however deep you want to bend that knee is up to you. We just want to try to avoid this ankle staying behind the knee. We want to keep the knee right above the ankle there. If you want to take it deeper, you can just walk those toes forward, or for less intensity, just step that back foot in a little bit closer. So finding your space, working our way into this warrior one as we turn our shoulders and our gaze towards the front of our mats. On our next breath in, we're slowly going to reach arms all the way up. Let's straighten through both legs, feeling those hands connect at the top, and then exhaling, bending the elbows, bending the knee. So coming in, we call this cactus arms or goalpost arms, where we draw the elbows back and down, we drop the shoulders away from the ears, and we lift the heart up towards the ceiling. So we're going to move with our breath here. So first finding your breath, finding the pace of your breath, and then we're going to match the movement to your breath. So on an inhale, we lift everything up, feel those hands connect. Exhaling, the front knee bends, elbows drop down and back. Inhaling as we lift, maybe even turn that gaze up. Exhaling, shoulders dropping down. Inhaling as we lift, one last time, exhale. Bending that front knee, and then inhale as we lift all the way up. And on an exhale, let's open out to the side, warrior two. Turning that gaze over those front fingertips. Maybe peek down, see if you can see the big toe along the inside of that front knee. All right, we're gonna pause right here, warrior two. Grounding down into both feet evenly, just as much into that back foot as we are into the front foot. So we're really engaged through this entire back leg. And then let's go ahead and bring these hands behind the body. Interlacing those fingers, we're just gonna draw the shoulders down and back. Straightening through this front leg. On the exhale, we're just gonna tilt at those hips. Again, the depth that you take it to is completely up to you, but let's just continue to keep the arms engaged and straight back behind you. Inhale, we're gonna lift the torso back up to center, and exhale, we're just gonna drop that right shoulder down towards the floor. Inhaling as we lift back up, and exhaling, just hinging at the side of the hip. One more time, as we inhale back up. Exhaling as we pause here. Again, just reaching right shoulder down, left shoulder up. And maybe we release these arms and extend the right hand down, the left arm up. Right into your triangle pose. Holding for one more breath. And then that next inhale, go ahead and slowly lift everything back up. We'll bend into that front knee. Bring both arms around to the front, warrior one. And exhaling those hands all the way to the floor. Releasing that back heel and lowering down to that left knee. Untucking those toes, grounding down into this front heel as we slowly lift up into a kneeling lunge. And then exhaling, hands find our heart center. Adjusting here, if needed, you can always walk those front toes forward to take it into a deeper stretch for that left hip flexor, or you can walk them back to make it a little less intense. Let's try bringing our left hand to the front of the knee. We're going to bring our right hand to our hip. On the inhale, we're going to lift up tall through the crown of the head. On the exhale, we're going to find a little twist. Turning your shoulders, your gaze to the right side. Maybe we pause right here, or you can reach that right arm back behind you. Try to find 3 breaths as we pause. In through the nose, and out through the nose. we slowly bring that right hand back to the hip, we come back around to the center and lower both hands all the way to the floor. Tucking those back toes underneath, lifting the knee, we'll step the front foot back, lifting those hips up high, downward dog. Maybe walk out those heels a few times, shake out those legs. All right, go ahead and lower to both knees here. Big toes come together, sitting those hips back to your child's pose. Feel free to rest your forehead on your mat. You can always bring your hands together, resting your forehead on your hands. Or you can even bring palms together, bringing the thumbs towards the back of the neck. Allowing those shoulders to just relax towards the floor no matter where those arms are. Once again, just try to bring awareness to the heart. Not only the front of the heart, but also the back of the heart, especially as we are here in this child's pose. The back of the heart being open. Sending your breath to that area. As you inhale, just feeling the back of the heart open and expand. Exhaling as it softens. 3 more breaths here. Okay, when you feel ready, extending those arms forward, palms on the mat. Slowly making our way back to our downward dog. So tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Lifting the knees, reaching the heart back towards those legs. As you're ready, turning that gaze forward, you can bend both knees and take a little hop, or you can step those feet to the front. Back to that forward fold, and on an inhale, lifting halfway up. Drawing the shoulders back and down. Exhaling as we fold. Deep bend through those knees, grounding down into those big toes as we slowly make our way up to standing. And exhaling, hands to our heart center. Okay, let's move on to the opposite side. So we'll step our right foot to the back. Turning that right foot out to the side slightly. Bending into this front knee. And then slowly turning your shoulders, your hips, your gaze towards the front of your mat. Grounding down into both feet. Nice and strong into this front heel. And then pressing into the outer edge of that back foot. When you feel ready to find some movement, first let's find the breath. And then on the next inhale, reaching those arms up, straightening through both legs, connecting the hands at the top. Then exhaling, elbows bend, shoulders drop, front knee bends as well. Inhaling as we lift everything up nice and tall. Exhaling, cactus arms, shoulders draw down the back. Inhaling as we lift, straightening through that front leg. Exhaling, elbows drop back and down. One last time as we inhale up here. Feel those hands connect. And then exhaling, finding a little pause just for a breath. Again, grounding down into both feet. Feel the mat supporting you underneath. And then inhale all the way up. On the exhale, let's open these arms out to the side. Warrior 2. Turning that gaze over those front fingertips. Front knee is tracking right over those middle toes. Slowly we'll bring those hands behind the body. Maybe as you interlace the fingers this time, try crossing the fingers the other way. So the other thumb on top. Sometimes it feels a little awkward because we usually interlace our fingers the same way every time without thinking about it. So drawing those shoulders back and down, engaging through both arms. As we breathe in, lifting tall through the crown of the head. Straightening through that front leg. And then exhale, just dropping that left shoulder down towards the floor. Again, it doesn't have to be very far. Inhaling as we lift back up, engaging through the belly to help move that torso. Exhaling as that shoulder begins to lower. Inhaling as we lift back up. Exhaling as we hinge just on the left side of the hip. Reaching out through the crown of the head. One last time, inhale up tall. And then exhaling. As we drop the left shoulder down, maybe we stay right here, or we can open these arms. Left hand reaching down towards the floor, right hand reaching up. One more breath in that triangle. And then next inhale, we'll slowly lift both arms back up, bending that front knee. Bringing that back arm forward, warrior one. And then exhaling both hands all the way to the floor, releasing the back heel, lowering down to that right knee. Untucking the toes. Grounding down into your left heel as we slowly lift the upper body. Exhale, bringing the hands together, lowering them down to your heart center. On an inhale, lifting tall through the crown of the head. On the exhale, let's bring right hand to the knee, left hand comes to the hip. Finding your space as you ground down into that front heel, lifting tall, engaging through the lower belly. Maybe we pause right here. Maybe we find a twist as we turn the shoulders and the gaze to the left. Or you can try extending that left arm back behind you. Finding a spot to focus on. Softening through the gaze. And finding your breath. 2 more breaths here. If you need to come out of it at any point, feel free. You can always keep that right hand on the floor for support. I know my front leg is super wobbly here. And then slowly making your way back to center, lowering both hands to the floor, lifting the back knee off the mat so you can step the front foot back, lifting those hips up high, downward dog. And then go ahead and lower to both knees. Big toes together, and we'll sit those hips back into your child's pose. Finding that spot that feels best for you in your child's pose. Arms can be extended or back along your sides. Trying to come back to your breath. Bringing awareness back to the area around your heart. Not only the front of your heart, but the back of your heart as well. Okay, slowly on the inhale, let's extend those arms forward once again. Keeping our right hand on the floor. On an inhale, let's reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Turning your gaze up at that hand as well. And then exhaling, that hand comes down, walking underneath and all the way out to the side as far as you can. Now maybe we pause right here with both arms extended. Gently dropping the left shoulder down towards the floor. Or you can add a little twist by reaching the right arm up as well, turning your palm facing behind you, and then reaching that hand back, maybe to your lower back, maybe around to the side of your leg. And just gently drawing that right shoulder back and open. 3 breaths, wherever you are holding, whether those arms are extended or the hand is gently pressing into the body. And then slowly unwinding that right arm, bringing the left arm back out in front as well, pausing right here in the center. Taking a moment to check in with what you feel in the body, maybe through the shoulders, the arms, or the back. And then moving on to the opposite side, keeping our left hand planted. Sorry for all that background noise. On the inhale, we're going to reach the right arm up this time. And then on the exhale, reaching it down underneath the left arm and all the way out to the side as far as you can. So both arms are extended, gently dropping that right shoulder a little closer to the floor. Maybe the head rests on the floor. You can always bend that left arm, resting your head on the arm. Or you can add that little twist. Reaching the left arm up as well, turning your palm facing behind you, and then reaching back until your hand finds the lower back, the side of the hip, wherever it lands. And then just gently drawing that left shoulder back. If this is uncomfortable on the knees, on the hips, you can always do this seated, all the way up on those knees, and you can just cross the arm over the front of the body. You can still get a nice shoulder opening here. So again, just give yourself permission to make adjustments or modifications as needed. So 2 more breaths wherever you're holding. And then as you feel ready, slowly bringing both arms back to the mat, back out in front of you. And we'll walk those hands all the way up. Go ahead and bring those legs around to the front of you so you have a seat on your mat. And we're just going to bring those legs forward. So hips on the floor, let's bring those hands behind the body once again. On the inhale, we're going to press the mat away from the body, lifting the heart up towards the ceiling, dropping those shoulders down and back. Maybe we stay right here and just focus on lifting the heart up. Or we can press down into those heels and lift those hips as well, pointing the toes. Squeezing those shoulder blades together behind the body. One more breath in, just lifting the heart up high. And on the breath out, slowly lowering those hips down. Coming back up to a seat. Now if it's uncomfortable to sit up tall here, you can always sit on a pillow or a cushion, or a block if you have it. We're going to flex through those feet, toes pointing up towards the ceiling, grounding down into those heels. If the knees need to lift off the mat a little bit, that's totally okay. As we breathe in, reaching those arms all the way up. On the breath out, hinging at the hips, trying to stay long through the spine. So reaching those arms forward until you get about halfway down. On the next inhale, try to reach forward a tiny bit more, and then exhale, lowering those hands. Maybe they come to your legs, maybe the floor, maybe your feet. Anywhere along the way is fine. Just trying to hinge at those hips, keeping the spine long until you can't fold any further, and then you can soften through the shoulders. Maybe drop the chin a little closer to the chest. And once again, just breathing into the upper back of the heart, the shoulder blades. Inhaling as you feel them broaden. Exhaling as they relax, maybe folding over those legs a tiny bit more. About 3 breaths here in your forward fold. Next inhale, as you are ready, using the strength of your core to draw in and up as we roll the upper body back up to a seat. And then go ahead and bring both feet in, scooting to the front of your mat. Hands can come to the back of those legs and just slowly, gently rolling yourself all the way down onto your back. Feel free to bring those knees with you into your chest. Maybe rocking those knees side to side a couple times. As we bring those knees back to center, let's lower both knees all the way over to the left. So rolling onto the left side of the body, we're going to bring the palms together. Hopefully you can see this okay. So we're going to roll onto the left side of the body. Knees are stacked. We're going to bring the palms together and just resting your head on the floor. Now this we're going to move into a nice little shoulder opener. So we're going to turn the palm, let's see, the right palm facing up. So both palms are facing up towards the ceiling, the tops of the hands are on the floor. Now keeping the head on the floor, keeping that left hip on the floor, we're slowly going to begin to move that right hand all the way up overhead. So almost like you were drawing a half circle or a rainbow on the floor overhead. Keeping the top of your hand touching or as close to touching the floor as you can as that hand moves all the way up and around. Maybe until it's reaching all the way out in the opposite direction. Now as you move that hand, you can continue to move it forward and back. Or if you find a spot that feels a little extra tight or tense, you can always stay and hold right there. Again, just listening to the body. Trying to move that hand super slow across the mat. Again, trying to keep the top of your hand connected to the floor as close to it as possible. I know we all have different mobility in our shoulders, so you just find what works for you. We're just going to take a few more breaths here. It's going to exploring with that right shoulder as you move that right arm around, or maybe you're just holding in a spot that feels best. Very slowly beginning to make your way back to center. So bringing that right hand back around until it connects with that left hand. And then go ahead and bring those knees, those arms, everything back up to center. Just the feet resting on the floor. Take a moment to pause right here in the middle. To check in with the breath, check in with what you feel in the body. Notice how those shoulders are feeling, the back. And then when you are ready to move on to the opposite side, we'll bring those knees back in towards the chest and then lower them over to the opposite side. So to the right side, rolling onto the right hip. We'll bring those palms together once again, pointing straight ahead. The head can rest on the floor. Turning your left hand up so both palms are facing up towards the ceiling. The tops of the hands are connected with the floor. Now the only thing that's going to be moving here is that left arm. So very slowly, probably slower than you would like, moving that left hand, reaching it up overhead, trying to keep the top of your hand connected to the floor. Or if it's lifted, that's okay. Just try to keep it close to the floor. Beginning to work your way all the way around until that hand is reaching out in the opposite direction, just like in our normal twist. Now again, you can stay and pause anywhere along the way. Find a spot that needs a little extra attention, a little extra time to just pause and hold and breathe there. Or you can continue to move that arm, just like you're drawing a half circle or a rainbow up overhead. So just a few more breaths here. Moving through that left shoulder. Maybe the shoulder feels different than the right shoulder. That is normal and okay. And then very slowly beginning to make your way back around to where you started. So bringing that hand back until it connects connects with the right hand. And we'll draw those knees back up to center, bringing those arms back along the sides or hands on the belly. Pausing right here in the middle for just a few breaths as everything comes back to center here. Okay, for this last part of class for your Shavasana here today, since you're probably doing this at home, and I would guess you might have a wall nearby you, we are going to do legs up the wall. So you can do this with a wall, you can do it with a couch, anything that is lifted a little bit higher than the floor will work. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring your mat, you don't even need your mat, but you can, you're going to bring it all the way to the side of the wall, and you're just going to scoot your hips to the side as close as you can, and then you're going to lower down onto your back. Bringing those feet all the way up the wall here, or if you're doing it up alongside a couch, bringing your hips close to the side of the couch, and then your knees can just be bent over the couch. But you're just going to rest the heels up on the wall. Now if the knees are bent here, that's totally okay. You want to be able to just let the legs relax as much as possible. So maybe the feet fall out towards the sides of the room, and your arms can be along your sides, they can be on your belly, they can even be up overhead. So finding your space here, settling in, as always making any adjustments to make this more comfortable for you. Sometimes even if you have a blanket, you can always bring it underneath the lower back to make it more comfortable. And feel free to close the eyes here, or you can just find a gentle gaze up at the ceiling. And maybe bring an awareness to the feet and the toes. With those legs lifted, they might start to feel a little tingly. But in versions like this, anytime you have those feet higher than the head, has multiple benefits for the body. Just helping with your blood flow, your circulation, movement of the lymph system, the fluid throughout your body. It helps stimulate your digestive system. Plus lots of other things. But this is a nice relaxing inversion. So as we breathe here, maybe taking a little scan of the body, starting at those toes, going all the way up through the ankles, the calves, the thighs. Maybe noticing the hips or the lower back as it's connected with the floor or your mat. Noticing your spine, resting on the floor underneath you, allowing the belly to soften. The shoulders, just feeling the backs of those shoulder blades connected with the mat. The front of those shoulders can open and relax. Maybe feel the back of your head connected with the floor as well. Try to soften through the gaze, relaxing through the jaw, the area around your eyes, your forehead. Noticing how you are breathing. As you find stillness, just feeling the breath slowly come just back to a very gentle, soft pace. And for these last couple breaths here, bringing awareness back to the heart center. Sending all of your awareness, your focus, your energy to the area around your heart. The heart that beats each and every moment for us. Not only keeping the body moving and functioning, but allowing us to feel and to love. And very slowly, maybe we start to bring the soles of the feet together, bringing them down towards the body. You can have the knees in towards the chest or the knees out towards the sides. You can stay here for as long as you'd like, or you can slowly begin to come out of it. So feel free to stay right here, or you can start to bring those knees rolling over to one side. Again, just pausing here for a moment on one side. And then as you feel ready, just using your arm to help yourself back up to a seat. Finding your space again, finding that comfortable seat. And sitting up nice and tall. Oftentimes just by sitting up tall and opening through the front of the heart can help lift our moods, help us feel a little more confident and ready to face whatever is ahead of us. So just finishing your next exhale. Our next breath in, let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then a nice cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.